got something in there.
It's a very disturbing image and very worrying allegations. And as the Prime Minister said, all of our thoughts need to be with those women who were the victims of what Epstein and his associates were doing. And the way that we can help those victims is for anybody who has any insight or information about what went on to come forward and testify.
So
they need to shine a light on what has happened.
So Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor, the former prince, should go to America and testify to Congress? Is that the government's position? He should
testify. I mean, Angela Rippon was saying a moment ago, there are different ways to enable people to testify, but I think it is right that anybody, not just Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor, anybody that has insight or information to share that can shine a light on what has gone wrong so that we can get some justice for the women who have suffered so much, then they should come forward.
Well, I think it shows, like, from the point of view of the palace, they had to do something to separate Andrew from the rest of the family, and the nuclear option was the clearest way of doing it. And, you know, as more comes out, then, you know, you do feel that they have been justified. It's, yes, and in a sense, the royal family have been, via Andrew, caught up in this. It's sort of, but it is a broader story of how some of the super wealthy sort of spend their downtime, and it's quite sort of, I think to ordinary people, it's just extraordinary, weird and odd, and this hold that Jeffrey Epstein sent to have over very successful people in whatever domain they were. It's sort of, the whole story is very, very weird. It shows that the palace were right to do what they did at the end of last year, and to, you know, all those decisions, which to some people looked extremely harsh and sort of in a legalistic sense, it showed that it was ultimately, taking everything in the round, the only option available to the king. The photo of him on all fours is what really strikes out. It's such an odd image, and you knew that it, like, what it shows is that he, you know, he said he didn't know anything going on or see anything unusual, while then taking part in something that looks very unusual himself. It's sort of so that's the thing. It just adds to the evidence that you know, Andrew was involved in some way, shape or form with some of the things that Epstein was doing. And there's evidence of being brought women and what have you, and the discussion of that at the very least. So his idea that he didn't have any idea of Jeffrey Epstein being able to bring women around or whatever, as you know, that has been shot to pieces.
182,000 images and videos. The Justice Department says that this is the final batch and that they now have fully complied. Remember, we've known for years that Trump was close personal friends with Jeffrey Epstein in the 80s and 90s. Victims said that his longtime accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell, brought her to a party in...
On the artificial intelligence front, I have, because it seems so ethereal.
Our national security people are on it, and they care about it. And when America shines, the world shines. Because
the president has said that he cut ties with Epstein in the mid-2000s, and he denies wrongdoing. He has never been accused by law enforcement of any involvement in any of Epstein's crimes. Other prominent figures also came up in this in the Epstein files. It really wasn't just Trump. There was a whole wide array of people in there. Tech billionaire Elon Musk, according to some of the emails, tried coordinating with Epstein to visit him in the Virgin Islands. Other messages showed that Howard Lutnick, who is now the Commerce Secretary, planned meetings with Epstein long after he claimed that they had stopped speaking.
Really in the final stages of polishing Grok 3. Probably it gets released in about a week or two, so pretty soon.
Can you assure the American public that President Trump, like every other prominent person whose name came up in relation to the Epstein files, that all documents, photos, and anything relevant to him connected to the case are being released?
My team has certain communications with the White House. Let me just be clear, they had nothing to do with this review. They had no oversight over this review. They did not tell this department how to do our review, what to look for, what to redact, what to not redact. They absolutely knew that I was doing this press conference today and that we were releasing the materials today, but there's not, there's no oversight by the White House into the process that we've undertaken over the past 60 days.
大家好，我是主播周玉琴。很多的朋友告诉我们，选择原版的太阳星全效克菲尔益生菌，它添加有羽衣甘蓝，健康再加分。而有睡眠困扰的朋友们，赶快选择蓝色包装这一款晚安加强版，绝对是更有感。每日克菲尔，时刻美好 ，Good Feel Good， 请上快点购为健康下单，而且要记得输入推荐代码，有额外的折扣优惠。太阳星全效克菲尔益生菌基础版、晚安加强版，新包装改版，内容不变，抽取更方便。要吃就吃最好的